Good afternoon, everybody. I'm kind of nervous here. My name is Barbara Sanders. I'm the CEO of Hand Up, a nonprofit organization, and also alternate for Wayne Metropolitan Action Agency. I'm here today to just thank the ones that provided this for the Black History Month. I appreciate that. It's something that I'm interested in and have always been. And I thank Pasha for inviting me. And I'd also like to say I'm nervous now. Before I introduce our Master of Ceremony, I would like to make some important housekeeping announcements. A big thank you to the UAW Region 1 Director, LaShawn English. Thank you. She's accepting the invitation to keynote this event. Also, I'd like to say where the restrooms are. You go out the door to the left. The food is here. Let me see. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can ask Nicole Jones. She's back there. And she's a member of the Westland DEI department. It's now my pleasure to welcome to the stage the MC for this event, a notable Westland resident, dad, husband, pastor, and champion for fairness, Apostle Edward Pruitt. I'll get better at it.
Welcome to the City of Westland's 2025 celebration, recognition, and appreciation for Black history. In this month of February, a month set apart to honor Black achievement, Black excellence, and Black innovation. We want to recognize and honor Kevin Coleman, the mayor of this wonderful city, Jim Godbout, the deputy mayor, Westland City Council President Michael McDermott, City Council meeting members, I see them in the audience, the DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Director, Pascal Eze, all of the DEI department, the DEI board, all of the dignitaries from boards and commissions in Westland and surrounding communities. We also want to recognize all of the dignitaries, whichever position, place you reside from and hold. We thank the police officers for here, our community officers who are here right now. We appreciate you and all that you do for the community. We want to also thank Marcos for this wonderful, wonderful lunch that we've had. Marcos really made sure that we were fed. One of the amazing things about Black culture, it always surrounds food. Whether it be a joyous moment, a mourning moment, or just a moment to get to know one another, food is often in the mix. And that's where we get this idea of soul food. It's good for your soul, and you have it right on your plate. I also want to thank each and every one of you here. It's the people. It's because of the people that we have the ability to do things like this, bringing things together, bringing people together for a tremendous occasion such as this. So I wanted to thank each and every one of you as well. I have to make sure I mention this too. Today, February 27th, this is my son's birthday. Many of us know him. We call him E4. He's Edward Pruitt the fourth. And he's just excited about today, and he turns 4. It's so important that we focus on understanding the past, we understand the present, and we make sure that we help elevate and move our future forward for success. When I was first asked to MC this event, the first thing that came to mind quickly was a scripture, 1 Corinthians 12 and 31. The Apostle Paul wrote, "But earnestly desire the greater gifts, and I show you a still more excellent way." And that more excellent way that Paul was talking about was love. It was out of love. We have to talk about how it plays a part in Black history as well. It was out of love the Black community fought out of slavery. It was out of love that the Black community sat on buses and sat in Woodsworth in seats and places the law said wasn't for them. They marched and protested, spoke up and provided uncomfortable truth, spoke truth to power, and endured through all obstacles. The Black community. It was out of love the Black community helped build this nation, set forth providing innovation and innovative ideas. It was love, it is love, and it shall be loved. That brings us all here today as well. We're sitting here because of love. At this point, without further ado, I want to make sure I reiterate that we are welcome, each and every one of you all, to Westland's 2025 Lunchtime Conversation, put on by the DEI department with the theme African Americans and Labor. We thank each and every one of you all for all that you've done. This is absolutely beautiful. At this point, I'm going to move the program forward, and I'm going to introduce or bring up Pastor Dr. John Duckworth. He is a renowned reverend in our community. He has helped many people along the way. He has fought for justice. He has been integral in communicating the needs of community members as well. Reverend Duckworth, Pastor Duckworth, is coming to bring the invocation.
Shall we pray? Gracious God, we thank you. Not only are you a God of love, but you are a God of diversity. You decided to separate. You decided to make all of us different. You've given us each a distinguished fingerprint that no one else has. But then, Lord, you're also a God of equality. You made man and woman. You gave them the charge of animals and all the creatures on the earth. And then, Lord, you are a God of inclusion. For Jesus said, whosoever will, let them come. There are no restrictions. There are no discriminations. For your love is for everyone. Bless us as a community. Bless us as a city, that we will recognize the blessing of diversity and love everyone because they are your creation. This is our prayer. We now pray. Amen. Amen.
In Westland, we have the mayor and we have city council. And on city council, we have amazing men and women on the board helping to guide the direction of this community. One of our city council members is Delano Hornbuckle, and he is coming up here right now to begin to speak and give some words.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Before I dig into my speech here or my remarks, I just want to take pause. And this right here is amazing. Whoever did this deserved an applause. Standing here today with this in the background, these people are here with me today, holding me forward to speak with you. Most people know that speaking in public is not my strong suit, but with these people behind me, I'm as strong as I can be today. So thank you all for being here. I have my father here. I have people in the other cities came. So thank you all for being here. So it's truly an honor to be here today to celebrate Black History Month and engage in an important conversation about African Americans in labor. Throughout history, Black workers have been the forefront of the labor movement, organizing, advocating, and fighting for fair wages, safe work conditions, and economic justice. Their contributions have shaped the workforce, strengthened the rights of all workers in this country. And what other country would you rather be in? Today, we have the privilege of hearing from a leader who embodies that legacy. Ms. English is the director of the UAW Region 1, also served as the director of International Women's Department. In these roles, she has been a powerful advocate for workers' rights, equality, and inclusion, ensuring that the labor movement remains strong. Her leadership and dedication continues to uplift workers, empower families, empower the community, and pave the way for our futures. Please join me in thanking her for coming out and also thanking all these wonderful speakers here tonight to you today. Thank you, and I appreciate everyone here.
One of the biggest themes through the legacy and history of the Black community is surviving and overcoming. Today, I had the great opportunity, I was just enveloped in the melodic sounds, the melodic voice of the Davises. We're gonna have a great, amazing, wonderful rendition coming up of We Shall Overcome by the Davises.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Someday. Oh, shall live in peace. We shall live in peace, and we shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall live in peace someday. Oh, and we shall all be free. Oh, we shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, oh, I do believe, oh, we shall all be free someday. Oh, yes, we will. And we shall live in peace someday. Oh, and we shall overcome someday.
Wow. Wow. The strongest words to say behind that angelic anointed voice, singing such powerful words, is wow. God bless you. God bless you. One thing when I think about the song, the spiritual hymnal, "We Shall Overcome," is that there was a lot of overcoming that was needed and necessary. We wouldn't be where we are today without so many souls working towards overcoming. We've seen much success in this world. We've seen great innovations. We've seen great movements because there was a desire and a will to overcome. From slavery time, through Jim Crow laws, through even what we're dealing with today, there is a fight in a people to overcome. This song was heavily held on to during protests, during the civil rights movement, saying, guess what? We're not afraid. We're going to overcome. And God placed the right person at the right time to give us that hope that that song gives. At this point, we're going to move forward and bring up an amazing man. I got a chance to talk to him, and you've seen him before. He has been one of the first in our communities to exhibit Santa in a whole different way. This gentleman has a heart of gold. He is just a wonderful person to sit and talk with, and you know he loves people. This person was our first hip-hop Santa, bringing joy to the children, and I am so thankful that he is coming up here to introduce our amazing, glass-shattering keynote speaker, William Sparks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am the Hip Hop Santa. I'll be introducing LaShawn English. Director LaShawn English shattered glass ceilings in December of 2022, making history when she was elected as the first woman and woman of color to serve as director of UAW Region 1. Following the union's first direct ballot election, through her 24 years of active UAW involvement, English has served the membership in many key administrative, bargaining, and community-oriented roles. English union journey began early as a member of United Association Building, Trades Local 370, where she obtained her journeyman's card as a steam fitter and a licensed plumber. After being hired as a pipe fitter within the Stellantis Sterling stamping plant, she became active in UAW Local 1264. English will go on to be elected to serve 3 terms as president of Local Union 1264, continuing to break barriers as the first woman of color to serve in this role. English was also elected as a skilled trades delegate for over a decade, serving on the National Skilled Trades Council, and will later be elected as a national negotiator from 2015 to 2019 for Stellantis. In addition, she previously served in various roles at the local and regional level. Local Union 1264, Recording Secretary, 3 terms. Election Committee, Women's Committee, Region 1 Skilled Trades Council, Region 1 Women's Council, and Recording Secretary of Genesee County. English also earned a bachelor's degree in business administration from Baker College in 2014. In February of 2024, English was appointed director of the International UAW Women's Department by President Shawn Fain. Under her direction, the department mobilizes women to be activists in their workplaces and the legislative halls. As a proud mother of her 1 son, she understands the importance of building structures in the union and legislatively to support working families. Currently, LaShawn English serves on the board of several organizations: a Philip Randolph Institute, Industrial All, Global Union, Coalition of Black Trade Unionists, Michigan Democratic Party. English is also a lifelong member of the NAACP. She is a fierce champion on behalf of the membership. Let's give it up for LaShawn English, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. All right, all right, all right. You know, sometimes I hear these introductions of myself, I always say, who are they talking about? Who is that person? You know, I look at this picture and I always look at that. No one expects to be in the spotlight. I think every last one of them didn't wake up one day and say, I'm going to be, someone that's going to be a leader, a civil rights, because that's all of us in the room, to be honest. We're not born into it. something make us want to do better for others. And that's one of the things. It's crazy because some of the things, because we're here to talk about DEI, but a lot of the roles I got were because of DEI. 90% of the jobs that I held, I was the only woman. Only woman and the only woman of color most of the time. He stated I was in construction, so I came into plumbing and pipe fitter, which is a whole other world than being inside the UAW. So out there on the outside, when we talk about DEI, it gives everyone opportunity to be equal, to provide for their family. So I always want to make sure I talk about that, how important it was for someone giving me a chance to go and do construction. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be totally honest. I was a little confused when they said, hey, I went to school for college for other things, dropped out of college, and my cousin said, hey, they need some women in the trades. Come on and join this. I literally thought I was getting a van, and I was going to be going to people's houses. Let's be honest. When someone said, hey, you're going to be a plumber, I was like, okay, cool. I get the van. I was going to have the plumber's crack, but I was like, okay, wasn't going to be me. That's about much what I knew about a sink and a toilet, but I didn't know the rest of the world that exists about what plumbers, steam filters, that we did. I just didn't know. Because again, there wasn't women that I talked to who did this type of work. My father was an electrician, but he didn't, he wasn't taking me to do things like that. So that's what I mean about when we say diversity. When there's more of us that are in different fields, and no offense, women, we seem to do it better and make the jobs better. We just do. We just do. We just do. So, let's get real about this conversation. But first off, before I get here, I definitely want to thank you guys for inviting me to be a speaker. I really appreciate it. And I want to make sure I give that a shout out to everyone that made sure I got here today. Thank you. And I also want to give a shout out to Shantae. She is assistant director and also the UAW International Women's Department. I brought her with me here too. She's a good fighter. So let's get this conversation started because this is a conversation. We're supposed to be having a conversation, right? This is a conversation luncheon, right? We had a soul, we got food to our soul, but let's have soul to our talk today. So, all right, let's get real. How many of you ever been in the workplace where you had to work twice as hard just to get half the recognition? Anybody in here? Okay. You grind, you showed up, but somehow that promotion goes to someone else. Your pay doesn't match your efforts. And when you speak up, they hit you with, we're a family here. You ever hear that? Like, hey, we're going to award you with a pizza. You do all the work, but you're just, just not. It sounds so fair. So let's think about it. It's not just your experience. It's history repeating itself. But here's the thing. We've been fighting and fighting for generations, and we've been winning. Because again, I wouldn't be here. We have some women that are cops here. We would not be in these positions. So we've been winning. We have been winning. So today we're talking about it. You have labor struggle, American struggle, and it's how we connect as the DEI in your workplace today. If you thought DEI was just some HR initiative, to be honest, it really is. It really is now. This is what they're attacking. This is what they're attacking. But this is more about money. DEI was more about money. It really wasn't about trying to say, I got to get a diverse workforce. I wanted to look at it. It's really about money. Because some of the labor, they had to find another way to grab labor into some of these positions because women were staying at home, taking care of the kids. And a lot of the new generation are not just taking certain jobs. So they created something, said, oh, we're going to create an atmosphere that's diversity. But it was really about money. So let's rewind. We know about African labor. We've always been exploited. We've always been underpaid, overworked, and treated as second class. But guess what? When Black Americans were brought here, the same thing happened. Because I'm going from Africa until coming back here where we're at now in the United States. The enslaved Africans built the United States. We're still not getting that piece of pie. We're still not. We're doing all the work that no one else wants, but we're still not getting rewarded. We were blocked. I'm going to be honest. I am a union worker. I'm a union official. There was a time that black workers couldn't even get into the jobs of the UAW. They actually had names for what they called it. So actually the UAW at one time only worked for one group of people. It only worked for one group of people. Which is crazy, right? We still got it's still sometimes today. We had the worst jobs, the foundry jobs, the jobs that people got sick, the jobs were always given to the undesirable ones, as they would call us. No. But like Africa and our black workers, we didn't sit down, did we? No. These people right here says we're going to fight. We're going to continue to fight. That's what we're doing. We're continuing to fight. So with this DEI, which is new to a lot of people, because it's funny, because when I was younger, and I want to tell you, it's a difference. Affirmative action and DEI are two different things. They are two different things. And if anybody ever tell you it's not, it's two different things. Because this DEI over here was created by companies. It's something that they want to do to say, hey, I'm not just giving someone. Affirmative action is something that we fought that are in the law books. They're there. We have language on this. We have laws on this. But guess what? DEI was just a way of saying, hey, someone got upset and says, I don't feel like I'm getting treated right. I wonder. Because those who benefit from DEI were the same people who benefit from affirmative action, correct? Most people thought, right? Because I don't know how old you guys are in this room, but I do remember when the U of M, and it's almost like the turn of the union when Right to Work came here. But I remember the first thing when U of M got sued. U of M of Michigan. Anybody remember that time? Conversation, yes. That was a turning point that we should have been woke. We should have woke up. We didn't. You're right. We didn't. We didn't wake up. We didn't. So how many of y'all, when y'all first heard DEI, so like I said, conversation, when did you know about DEI when you first heard it? Someone just shout out. Anybody, when the first time you heard the word DEI? See? Right after COVID. So it's only 4 years, right? 4 years. Created because we had people, we'll use Target, because now they're the new. That's true, that's honestly, like, so why was that created? Because we had someone beaten up in the streets. Someone with their neck, put a knee on their neck, right? That's why it was created. We know what it means. It doesn't matter if you're woman, male, or whatever. You want to go places where people look like you and care about you. That's what it is. And I think we need to continue to keep having these conversations with people when they talk about eliminate DEI. Amen. We really do. We really do. Because diversity is not just a head count. Amen. It's not. Affirmative action was a head count. Let me be honest, like when I got into the trades, and that's why I brought up where I was at, I was considered a head count on affirmative action. Because when these companies hired me, you always hear this thing called quota. So a white woman would be 1, a black male would be 1. For some odd reason, as a black woman, I was considered, it was weird, it was 3. I don't know why it was considered 3. They gave me 3. So that means they had 3 minorities on the job and they satisfied their quota. So they can get these contracts, they can get all this business. The crazy thing about construction, though, you get to keep people on the book for longer than when they're actually there. Because by the time the government come look at those books, I may no longer work there anymore. So when I got in the plant, it's no different. Affirmative action. We argue we need more people in skilled trades. 10% to the number. I literally used to go through the plant. If it was 100 skilled trades, 10% of us was either black or women. That was it. And anytime that number would go higher than 101, if it was 100 men there, 100 people total, anytime we would go to 11, because that's 10%, the other side would go to 101. They never, ever. So that's affirmative action. But when we get in the door, this is where all we want to do is get in. That's it. We want to be based on our work. We want to be based on what we do. I don't want nobody to give me the handout. I just want somebody to give me the opportunity. That's all it is. And I get it. I really do get it because I have these conversations because we're having a conversation, right? We're having a conversation, right? I get it. It's comfortable being in a room with people that agree with you, that look like you. I'm just going to keep it real. It's very comfortable. When you go home, you hang out with people that look like you. You hang out with people that think like you. But thinking like you ain't going to move the world. It's just not. It's not. It's nice to bring in fresh ideas because my friends going to think like me. And we ain't going to get no growth. Just being honest. It's the conversation piece. Women at one time that hung together, and you'll have two friends together, and they'll like the same guy. And people are like, how do you like the same? Because we're friends. Of course we're going to like the same kind of guy. But you bring in other people. You know what I mean? You bring in other people to get that difference. We teach young girls that they can be anything. We teach young boys they can be anything. We teach everybody it shouldn't be based on your color. Because when I was brought up, I can tell you there's no black family that never said to you, you got to work twice as hard. You got to be twice as better. And it's disappointing that no matter how hard you work, it's still never going to be enough. It's never going to be enough. I've been in the rooms, like I said, being the only woman of color with a lot of white guys. And you know what they always say? Well, you're not like them. I hear that a lot. You're not like them. And you know what I tell them? Invite morals into the room, and you'll realize that you're not like him, and you're not like him, and I'm not like her, and we're all different, but we all are bringing something to this table. And we're going to get these projects done, and we're going to move this country. So it bothers me to hear when people say, DEI, affirmative action, gotta go. No. And I'll give you something on the record, like these states in the South, most of their money comes from us here in the North. And that's their DEI. They get just as many seats as we get in the United States government because guess what? They don't want them to be treated unfairly. That's a DEI. You're showing diversity because we have to give programs to them because they don't have enough representation in Washington. That is a DEI. We need to have a real conversation about what is what's considered DEI. It's really not the color of our skin. It's about making it fair for everybody. It's like if you hear people say, if we had a police department of all women, and a guy come and complain, we need more guys. All it's just saying, make it fair for everyone. That's all it means. And have these conversations with each other. Let's not be afraid to talk about the elephant in the room. Let's really not. I think that's something that we all got to get past. Because that's what it means going backwards. The days of us being separated, the days of us not talking. The United States is going backwards. I'm being honest. This is only a way to divide us from seeing the true mission of making the United States the best country in the world. I'm keeping it real. Other countries are coming for us. As long as we guys still arguing about the same things that we were arguing about 100 years ago, let's be clear, 100 years ago, Because countries, I go other places, like, how can you cannot get past the color of someone's skin, or if this one can have a baby, or if this one cannot, you can't get past that. Because it's designed to keep us this way. It's designed to separate us. It is. And here's the thing. Do your homework on our conversation. I'm in the auto industry, and I got to tell my members, they should really be scared with places like China and Japan, because they can make a car over there. They got 3D machines that you can almost like 3D, and it make the car for you. We've been the unions, and we've been keeping this out. But the car costs $10,000. The car's got a lot of technology in it that we don't even have here, because guess what? We don't want to diversify our workforce for some young lady here, because cars weren't built for women, just so you know. You know, cars wasn't built by women or designed, because we all know if we design a car, we putting a purse thing here, we putting this thing. We're designing the cars a little bit different. And you know what I mean? Instead of these big wigs realize that women buy cars, they still got a car mindset on a man thing. You know, it's like as an officer, she don't probably realize that somebody fought, because me too, I had to wear male clothing. It wasn't effective for me as a skilled trade person. But again, we don't want to hear each other. We don't want to be in the same room. But I'm telling you right now, it's just another example to keep us divided. It's just another example to say something is different about each other. Why the billionaire keep getting richer and richer off of our struggles. Why should I not want you to be able to own a house? Why should I want your kids to get a good education? Why? Because someone else is lining their pockets. You know why they want women to have kids? Because they need somebody to work for this free labor. Let's be honest. But we should all have real conversations with ourselves and where we want the United States to go. Because the world right now is talking about us, and it ain't in a good way. Because they know we're divided. I can go to Westland and say something over here. I can go to audience over here and say something here. I can say something different. And with all the social media and everything else, we're not connecting the dots. We're not connecting the dots. We're worried about books. We're worried about books talking about how nice it is to be a woman, or how I dress my hair to eliminate these things. Wow, we got time to think about a book, but we're not thinking about good paying jobs. We're not thinking about making sure that the world is better than where we left it. That's all DEI is doing. That's all it's doing is just another form to keep us separated. That's all it does. And when someone says to you, you tell them, it's just bringing something more to my workforce so I can grow it. Allow people in. Allow people in. Pretty much. But that's our conversation, right? Those are conversations that we gotta be not afraid to have. Because I would say me and there's 3 others on the board. There's only 3 women and we of color. And we had those conversations because we were fortunate to even get on that board. To get on that board, for our union to even let us on that board. It's funny because the first woman to ever get on the board of the UAW didn't even happen until 2021. Woman of color. So just allow people in the rooms, allow people into your rooms, and have a diverse workforce, and you'll see how we will grow. So I'd like to thank you for having me here today, and hopefully this conversation, but before I leave, I want some high marks, not just, I'm a competitor, no, I'm in competition. No. But again, thank you so much. I enjoyed myself, thank you.
Leaves. Amazing job. We have some question and answer moments. You got some time for that?
Oh, I love question and answer.
I love this part of it because we're able to ask some questions that are on our heart. I firmly believe that when we get to know one another, whether it be a different race, a different nationality, a different gender, whatever it may be, if we really take that into our heart, we're able, and do something with it afterwards, we're able to make a difference. And so this is a great time for us to ask questions that we can go ahead and move the ball forward to help each and every one of us. While I raise your hand raise your hand for questions, and I'll come around. While we're doing that, I'm going to ask one to you. If you were to give our youth 3 things to focus on to strive for success in the future, because you are a glass-breaking, ceiling-pushing woman, what would you tell them?
I literally just had this conversation. I'm glad you asked the question. I think, and this ain't just for you, but it is important for you, AI. GP chat, AI is so important. It is going to eliminate so many jobs, so many ways we do life, and make so many things easier. I think that I would tell every single youth, first you got to get a craft. Let's be honest. You got to get something that can't be stolen, can't be, you can't replace a police officer, even though I do, I did watch Terminator and stuff like that. Some a lot of these future things, but I mean, they be honest. I would teach you to, first of all, to connect, but AI is very dangerous. And I think that as adults and as youth, we have to make sure we're on the curriculum about it and where it's going. It's so important. I mean, college is everything, but now they can almost cheat and you can get through college just with GPT. If y'all don't know about GPT, it's something now they're doing. You can pretty much type it and it can write a whole paper for you. It can do a lot, there's a lot of cheat codes. But I think integrity, I would tell youth to be integrity too. Know what integrity means also. Because Governor Gretchen said that she wants the kids to not use their phone. And she brought that up, but I see it differently. Utilize the technology, but we have to make sure we own the technology and use it to our advantage. So anybody that's coming up, I would definitely say get into something that's going to teach you about AI, push you into the future, and whatever you're good at it, strive really hard at it, really, and put the work in. I would tell the youth today. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that question. We have our first question from the audience. Ms. Murchison, here you are.
I agree with everything that you had said. What I would like to know is, just like you were saying, diversity. It appears to me that a lot of the young in our educational system are going, like you said, backwards. Mm-hmm. How would we diversify and extend to our communities and businesses to create the hunger to create diversity for all? Because just like you said, it can't be for just a few, it's for everyone. Because we all are putting something into the pot. And when I mean the pot, like the IRS and so forth and so on. So I'd like to hear your spill on that. And yesterday, I was talking to a retired superintendent of education who was from Traverse City. And we had a wonderful conversation about education. Because everything's like, to me, slipping back. No books, no computers, sometimes no toilet paper in these schools. A lot of people don't know that. That's because they're comfortable. It's not a time to be comfortable. Your spill. And thank you.
You're welcome. Something that I did learn, I'm going to back up. So one of the big problems with the DEI that really brought some attention was Asian American. Actually, there was a drop in them enrolling into school. All the reason I say that is because, and this, I'm not going to stereotype, but it's going to be somewhat of a stereotype. Asian, when they're younger, they always talk about how important it is in school, and they're taught a little different about school. Like a lot of black people, let's be honest, we say sports or, even, white families, we have different fundamental fun. We might say, go be BMX bike or something like that, but they have a whole thing about education, right? So one of the things, the drop in age in America is joining into colleges and going to college. The only reason I say that, I just want to bring that to attention. With the elimination of DEI, we're losing people even at school to be diversified, because you learn that kids gonna play with anybody. It doesn't matter. It's a taught that this person is different. It's taught. So it's a twofold. Because you want, and I'm going to say I'm from Flint, Michigan, and I had this conversation with somebody recently, and one of the advantages of being from Flint, Michigan, I saw teachers look like me. I saw teachers look like me. I saw principals that look like me. I saw mayors and I saw police officers and stuff, so that strived me to be different, right? What our kids today is, we gotta stop showing our own differences first so they can learn. They can learn differences. I think it's this generation and not them as much, because until they got 20 and 30, they hung out, and when they're in their 20s, they'll hang out together. Then they go to the other world because someone sees a privilege that someone else is not getting. And I don't want to say it without being facetious, though. It's like they may go to school together, they're not eating lunch together, you get what I'm saying? Or they're not going over each other's house. They're just not. And then when you do see people interact like biracial marriages and stuff, both sides, white or black, still say negative things. I can't fix it, but I think that everyone got to look at themselves and say, we got to be better. We got to get better. No offense, the president we got, he's a businessman. He know to keep diversity and to keep us divided. He makes more money like that. But if we don't wake up, then our kids are going to suffer. If they don't wake up, they're going to suffer. So to be honest, there got to be more protests. There got to be more people speaking up. And it can't just be the youth speaking up, and it can't just be the old speaking up. We're going to have to reach one, teach one, and they got to teach us too. So that's the only way we're going to change the young people coming up. I tell a story, Chantel said, I say if you're between 50 and now, you don't know what struggle look like. But you about to. You about to. You about to know what struggle look like. So they're gonna need some of these. They're gonna need somebody that looks like, not exactly someone to be a leader, to say, we gotta move, we gotta go. So it's a very hard question. And it's a question we're gonna keep arguing 100 years later. If no one don't stop and say, hey, we tried, we were moving, like I said, we were winning by making police departments be diversified. You know, hey, if it's just one, we're fine. Get me at least one. You know, Target did a good thing, but hopefully everybody boycott them. You see how they strike. More of that gotta happen. More of that gotta happen.
We have another question from the audience. This is
Okay.
from Ms. Nichols Powell.
50 or 60 years ago, I was one of those first people, and I experienced a lot of discrimination from the men because I was one of the first women. Have you experienced that, and how would you recommend a young person handling that coming up today?
It's funny that you say that. I have. Two things happened, though. I will say two things happened. I was in a dominant field, and then when I became the president, I lost myself within there. I almost lost my fight for what I thought was right or wrong. So in reality, I accepted the discrimination because I was getting rewarded for the discrimination. And I don't know, and I mean it like, because I was the only woman there, so somehow I was in the boys' club, But I didn't look like the boys club where they forgot I was who I was and who I was in myself. I almost forgot my own identity. And it really took a wake-up call, getting elected, and a young lady coming over there to me and said to me, and it was crazy, she said, well, I have a problem with this guy at the job. They're saying really crazy stuff. First thing the skill traded me, because my survival skills that's a problem? What do you mean? That is a problem if him saying the certain word that he said. I had desensitized myself to the point that I didn't see it. Just to fit in. Just to fit in. I had stopped educating myself just for my own personal gain. And then when I came out of that circle and I woke myself up, I started seeing exactly what they meant. Because women would come up to me and say, you ain't just get over there easy. Yeah, I got over here from my hard work. I literally was starting to believe that I got there by my hard work. I was a good worker, but it was other things behind the scenes that really did get me. And I had to see what it was. Because another woman came into the trades and she didn't make it. And you know who she came for? Me. And she was like, you think you this and that, they this? And I was like, wow. So it woke me. And from that moment, I started bringing others. And then whenever there was something, because they liked me, I had the ability to speak up for the other ones. So I did. I used my voice. And I ran for office, and now I still speak up for those who are marginalized. That's what I do.
We have another audience question here. This is from Westland's very own Councilwoman Emily Bauman.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One of the things I believe is that everybody has a spark of leadership in them, and sometimes we have to do things that help turn that flame up. Mm-hmm. So going on what would you teach young people coming up? What would you say, what leadership trait would you like to see people be working on more to help them? Because in leadership, and even behind you, and it was a good segue from your previous answer. Yeah. The leaders behind you. What trait do you think you'd like to see people working on more and being able to inflame that spark?
You know what? I always tell somebody, go get a mentor. Go talk to other people. Because that sparks your desire to have a mentor. I right now in the women's department, we're trying to teach women to lead. I can't retain women in the workforce or in elected positions. And I'm actually starting a class because I would say the UAW, we have language, but none of the language, and we have the ability to put language in the contract, just so y'all know. And women don't put language in. We don't think beyond that. So we just don't. It's just, we always want to be behind the scenes. I tell people, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's going to fire your flame, because again, and I always say to them, if you wasn't here tomorrow, if tomorrow not promised to you, what would you be doing? And people think about that, but like, wow, because you don't think beyond, you still think in the present, but you don't think like, I could be doing it now. So you have to make people realize that waiting for something to happen, it can be you. As I stated in the beginning, I don't think somebody told her that she was going to be a hero for not sitting on the bus, doing that seat. How much pressure she said, but she wasn't the first. Let's be honest. She was not the first. You get what I'm saying? And there's a whole 1,000 of names that we could put here. And I tell somebody, don't worry about getting the recognition. If you got to worry about the recognition and you got to be these jobs will struggle. They don't realize. People try to kill them. People will come after them. He died because of somebody that. He died because of that. She survived. But the bottom line is, you don't got to be that. It just take a step and care about somebody. And it's just a little bit. And it always got to be big. And that's what I would tell somebody that wants to come and be a leader. And know this, that you're going to make a lot of mistakes. And these jobs and your job, there's no blueprint. You ran because you cared. And sometimes it's the littlest things. It might have been a sidewalk in your neighborhood that said they ain't fixing it. And you start going to that school board, and you start raising your hand and say, fix it. And they ain't fixing it. You say, I'm running against you. And then you win. And that's what change looks like. And we have to teach that it don't got to be big. It be something just as small as that can change the world. That's what we got to teach. Yeah.
We have a few more questions. If you have a question, feel free to raise your hand, and I'll make sure I grab you as well. We do have some time, and I'll make sure to grab you. Right now, we have a question from Mr. Tobar.
How you doing, Ms. Lee?
Hi.
The question that I have, what was your drive each and every day until you made it to that point to keep going and to keep thriving for a younger generation coming up in everything that you saw, based is when you was a little girl until you got to the level?
So I started when I was a little girl. And I always get this, my father said this too, and people say it about me too, and it's my strength and my weakness. They say I smile too much. So I'm always smiling. I will smile even when I'm angry. So if you ever see me mad, I'm still smiling. Like I said, it's a strength and a weakness at the same. But if I'm smiling, you really don't know what I'm doing, but I probably may be ready to kill you at the same time. So when I was a little girl, but I would say it was my father, first off. My father, and so I had my sister and my two brothers, but my father believed there was nothing that my brother could do that I shouldn't be doing. That was one of the biggest things. He was like, my mother, she was still old school. They're girls, they're girls, they're girls. My dad was like, ain't nobody gonna be taking care of her, and she ain't gonna be staying with me forever. And he would say to me and my sister, you can do it too. Even if my brothers had to bake cake, I had to learn how to bake cake. Everybody was doing equal things. He believed that. And then I started, I think it started when I was in middle school too. And I was fortunate to be someone who could fit into these different groups in middle school. Because everybody knows, let's be honest, you have the nerds, you have the jocks, you have this, you have that. Because middle school or junior high, it changes you. It actually is the first sign of where you're going to be at in your life sometimes. You know, people can put you down, and you don't have people to say, let that go out the ear, right? So I end up having a great teacher that says, Miss English, you're always running your mouth. And she said, every time in school, you're always running your mouth about someone. I'm like, well, that look injustice. My father's like, if you see something, say something. So I would. And it got me in a lot of trouble sometimes, but I just felt the need to always speak up for someone. I don't know why. I didn't know why, to be honest. I really didn't. I just thought it was just like being that black girl magic, like, I ain't finna let you do that. I'm not just finna let you go. And then so it took someone else to say, that saw something in me and say, that's what leadership looks like. That's what leadership looks like you taking care of someone. But of course, you in your 20s, I'm like, no, I just didn't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. And I worked in a nursing home at the time. I was like, and I saw the way they were giving out patients to people, and the numbers weren't equal, and the work wasn't equal. And I'm like, we need a union up in here. And they was like, what do you mean? Don't say those words. Oh, no, because I'm not going to do 12 patients. So they tried to fire me. They tried. But so I didn't realize that. Like I said, it was steps that you say, you see something. It was just little things. So then, even when I got into building trades, I started arguing about some of the tools to the company. I was like, look, if you just purchase this, my hands are a little smaller. I can do more jobs faster. I got the guy to listen. I was an apprentice, started running a job. So if you ever go to Genesis Hospital or the airport in Flint, Genesis Hospital in Flint, I ran all the medical air as an apprentice. So I think it was just little things that just said that I wasn't really worried about everyone else. I was really more concerned about myself, to be honest. I was a little selfish, but I started bringing people along with me. And the very first union meeting, I got to our union meeting at my local. I was a skilled trades. I don't know if any of y'all came out of the auto industry. Skilled trades seem to be divided from the production workers. I'm just be honest. The skilled trades think they're better. It is a mindset. But anyways, so I will be talking to the production. And first shift had a softball team. They got jackets, they had shirts, all paid by union dollars. So when second shift wanted a baseball team, they ain't had no money because they gave it all to day shift. So I came out of the building trades, we had union. I told 40 people, we can go to union meeting and change everything that happened here. They looked at me, I said, all I need is 2 meetings from you. And that was the beginning of me realizing the power of people and knowing what you saying and speaking the truth, it'll get you in leadership spot.
We have 2 more questions.
Okay.
And we're going to get you off the hot seat. We thank you for being
You're
up
welcome,
there and
you're
answering
welcome.
all the questions. This question is coming from our audience member who is a disability advocate, who is also on the Disability Commission here. He is an amazing guy, brings a lot of hope and encouragement. This here is Ray.
I wanted to
Hey,
say
Ray.
thank you, and African Americans and even people with disabilities. Let's go back in a little history of that one. Because someone is different, well, let's segregate them and put them over here. African American, put them over here. Or someone white or whatever, put them over there. No, 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 no. Everybody should be treated equally. Come to the table. And I'm one of them. Don't take no for an answer, and I keep fighting it. And I am so proud today, because back in my time, people weren't talking to me. Oh, you're different.
Yeah.
No, I'm different now because I am teaching people into the community.
Yes.
I'm getting a lot of good feedback. Said, Ray, keep it up what you're doing. I just
Thank
wanted to share that. Thank you.
And he's right, because that's another thing I didn't mention on the DEI, but it's funny that you say that, because prior to me not going to Target anymore, I would say that. But people don't realize, like, accommodation is something regarding DEI. People have the ability to job, but we have that accommodation for people. And it's a young lady that she's a little person, and she has some things that are not right with her. And she was proud that the DEI got her the job, and she's actually the manager there at the Target there. And she was like, when I happened to see her just when the word first got, she said, people don't realize, like, people like me, LaShawn, are finally having our freedom to not have to be, they look different. I don't know if y'all seen a movie, it's called, and it's hopefully it'll win an award, it's called The Man or Man Me or something. And it's a guy, his face is disfigured. Anybody seen this movie? It's gonna be an award. But his face is for real disfigured. And it's like he goes to change his face. But his face is really disfigured. But he talks about the DEI. He said, guess what? People are not, he said, before they would keep me in a closet. I am here a movie star. He's a movie star. He's be in TV shows and stuff like this. That goes to show that people are different. Back in the day, we used to keep them in the rooms. No one ever saw them, or you only saw them unless you went over their house. You never even know. Certain people would have kids, and you didn't even know they had this kid because they had disabilities. Now we're accepting people who are different. Why do we want to go back? Why do we want to go back? Why do we want to go back? So thank you for what you do.
And we have one final question. While this may be the final question for this moment, make sure that you find someone who may be different than you. Ask questions. It's so important, because the more that we care about one another, bring each other into the fold, understanding, walking in their shoes as best as we can be a better people. And I think that that's what DEI really stands for, bringing people to the table so that we can go forward together. This question comes from our audience member, Miss Motley.
My name is Barbara Motley, and I'm from Flint, Michigan.
Oh,
And I had to fight to get into nursing school in Mott Community College. And everybody know how hard that has been. But anyway, people think now that DEA is affecting just one race. DEI is affecting all of us, so we all have to fight to keep this world a better place. And what is going on now, it is for all of us to fight back.
correct. So hands up, let's give a shout out for Flint, Michigan, where we from. Because Flint was a melting pot of showing how They showed us how to make Flint different. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons that they had to destroy Flint the way it was, because I can tell you what, the parks that I went to back, every community in Flint had a park in there. We used to have swimming pools within our park. It was just the most beautiful place to live up and grow up. And I hate when people say what they think about Flint, but had they been there and grew up, for when I was there, it was the most great place to live. And like I said, you saw people who looked like everyone. And we all kind of like did things together. It wasn't like I went to school with white people, Asian people, everyone. But now everybody pushed it together. Only thing I will say, like I said, I'm being totally honest. We need to look at ourselves and see why people are continuing to keep us divided. There was a movie that Richard Pryor did long time ago, and where they gave him the supervisor job. I can't think. Anybody know that movie that Richard Pryor was a factory worker? Anybody remember the name of that movie? What was the name of that movie? And the union, so they were dividing the white people and the black people, and they actually made him a supervisor. Still to today, that's all they want to do is continue to keep us divided to see the real mission, guys. The real mission is not each other. The real mission is not to be diversified. The real enemy is not us. The real enemy is those in power that wants to keep us from having the power that we can make this country great. That's the real enemy. Yeah.
The mayor, Kevin Coleman, is in Lansing today and would have wanted to be here to make this presentation himself. But I'm honored to be making it on his behalf, and I'm delighted that we have these icons of Black history standing as backdrop as I make this presentation. When Councilman Delano Humbucker was speaking, he made reference to these, asking or saying that the person who designed it, who was behind it, be appreciated. I just want to say before I make the presentation, this wasn't my idea. This was entirely the idea of my teammate at DUI department, Nicole Jones. I want us to appreciate her. She came to me and said she would like to have this backdrop, and we had a discussion about the names to feature, and she took it from there. She ensured that it was done, and she also came here yesterday with Dean to make sure that the backdrops were installed. So I want to acknowledge her for taking this initiative.
Good job.
I also want to acknowledge everyone that has been part of this event. It's taken us some weeks to put it together. Standing back there, it's a colleague of mine, director of IT department. Yesterday, he's a perfectionist. So we were here yesterday trying to go through the slides, and I always fall back on him and Jackie for things like this, and I want to appreciate him. And shortly, our friend and partner, Pastor Jean Overman, is going to come here to give the closing remarks. But I want to state here that but for her inviting me to a radio show in Detroit some few weeks back, I wouldn't have been able to come across this wonderful sister. And you know me, I don't take chances. I just boom. I saw her and I said, hey, this will be a right fit for our event we had coming up. And I shot my shot, you know. I had to just say, hey, you know, I want you to come and speak at the event, you know. We started getting, so I'm delighted that she really made it happen, and I want to appreciate her. And Marcos, and then again, that's Nicole's. Nicole was able to play together, and it's a wonderful. I think they're going to get a lot of business after this this event. So we in the DEI department, by design, by nature, are supposed to be collaborative.
And so we work with so many stakeholders in the community to do what we do. And my friend and brother, I sent him a message on Messenger, and I said, hey, I'd like you to MC this event. He said, really? I said, yes. He said, oh, count me in. And he was here before many of us got here, and he's done an excellent job being the MC of the event. Thank you, Fred, for MCing this event. Now, don't forget we want you to give us your feedback. Just tell us what you think. Good or bad, we can handle it.
That's true. He's right. That's the only way you can get better. That's the only way you can get better.
Exactly. Now, Mayor Coleman is someone that has been very supportive of what we do here at DEI department. And so when I told him we wanted to host this event and that LaShawn English would be our keynote speaker, he was delighted. And he gave me this award it's a certificate of recognition to present to her today on his behalf. It's City of Westland certificate of recognition presented to LaShawn English, presented by Mayor Kelvin Coleman in appreciation of your service as keynote speaker for the City of Westland's Black History Month Lunchtime Conversation. Your expertise as the director of the UAW Region 1 and director of International UAW Women's Department was a perfect fit for the theme of African Americans and labor, dated February 27th, 2025. Please do join me as I make this presentation on behalf of the mayor.
Thank you.
Can we have Pastor Overman, please, before? Stand up. Yes.
Thank you so much. I was so looking forward to that, and thank you, LaShawn. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm here representing the Western Wayne County NAACP, and truly, when I think about community conversation and the work that the DEI department here in the city of Westland is continuing to do, we see the excellence of who we are together when we allow ourselves to become one. I want us to think about the beauty in a fabric and where we can have the color red or we can have the color brown, but we've all seen the beauty of quilts, right? When we come together and we bring that excellence. And what's interesting enough is A. Philip Randolph as Theodore Roosevelt. What do we want? We want equity and job security. The same thing was said in the civil rights movement, equity, job security. And we're still asking that question in Black history. But to see things like this happen and to know that we are working as one in the city of Westland, I am very grateful to stand and to say, I salute this team and the excellence as you move forward. So as we prepare to leave, Davises, are we gonna do stand up? That song will resonate in our souls. Are you ready? Are you going to do like an official benediction?
Before you leave, I took a look at some things. And I see that you're the CEO of Operation Refuge.
I am.
And one of the things, two pieces really stood out to me that just touched my heart. On your page, it says, together we can change lives.
Absolutely.
And that is just something that's so poignant for today. And the other piece I want to mention is Operation Refuge, their mission is this. It's to empower individuals and families by providing essential resources, fostering resilience,
Absolutely.
and building pathways to a brighter future. That was powerful. And I thank you for all you do.
Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
I've been walking
with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, gonna start moving towards the separated line. I've been wading through muddy waters. You know I got a made of mind. And I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I'll fight with the strength that I got until I stand. I am gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? I'm gonna keep on keeping on. And I know what's around the bend might be hard to face because I'm alone, and I just might fail, but Lord knows I tried. Sure as the stars fill the sky, stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up and take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Do you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm going to stand up and take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. And I go to prepare a place for you. Thank you.
Now we have reached the conclusion of this celebratory moment, this moment of recognition, this moment of appreciation. We've concluded this moment. Is this just a program that we say we attended, or are we going to do something with it? Are we going to stand up and fight for one another? Are we going to stand up to care and love one another? Are we going to stand up to do what's right and just? Are we going to stand up to demonstrate the best character that we can demonstrate? Are we going to stand up and help someone else who's less fortunate than us? Are we going to stand up for the right things being said? Are we going to stand up for the right things being written? What are we going to do with this moment? This could be the defining moment in each of our lives. Or we can just say, just like 2024, 2023, 2020, 1999, we went to a program. Or are we going to say, we went to a program and I learned something. We went to a program and I'm going to do my part. I'm going to think differently. I'm going to look differently. I'm going to look at my brothers and sisters, no matter what race, nationality, creed they are. Are we going to do something different? This concludes this program, and my heart's prayer that this does not conclude your advocacy for one another. God bless each and every one of you.